Doesn't look like he's been here that long. Poor guy. I don't think I should get too close. It looks like an old record player. This is still in really good condition. It might be worth having. Completely ruined. Just another victim of the wastes. Looks like he's been here for decades. I really hope I don't end up like this. An old water pump. Kind of reminds me of the reactor in Sector 82. There she is, Lady Twiner. It definitely feels like there's something behind the canvas, but I can't rip it with my bare hands. This can't be a coincidence. Someone is leaving me a trail. This symbol looks familiar. Where have I seen it before? Nothing useful. The symbol on this token matches the one on the train. Fits perfectly. What was that noise? What are those doing in here? These look like the types of books Nelson collects. The sign on these says, "Do not store anything heat-sensitive inside." There's nothing in there but dust. Interesting. Looks like some kind of manually controlled fuel regulator. It doesn't seem to do much. Makes sense, considering the train's not using any fuel right now. That thing looks really old. It's no good. Looks like it all evaporated quite a while ago. That's where the locomotive's guts are. There can't be anything of much use in there now, though. I don't think I've ever seen them grow so lush indoors, or anywhere for that matter. Looks like some kind of storage hatch. There's a little plaque on it that says McNulty Hatch Corp. It's sealed tight. I won't be able to open it like this. A few loose books. Nothing really jumps out at me. It doesn't look to be in very good shape. It's blank. This looks like it was used recently. That's a lot of books. It rivals Nelson's collection. I haven't got time for reading right now. I think I heard something coming from the next car.
Hold it right there. Keep your hands where I can see them and don't make any sudden moves. Now who are you and what are you doing on my train?
My name is Amy Wellard, and I mean you no harm. I'm a friend.
A friend, huh? You can't fool me. I know a scavenger when I see one. Lucky for you, I'm not in the mood to clean up any messes today. I'll let you see yourself out, but if you touch anything, you're gonna have to answer to old Betsy here. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on out here, you old flea bag. Ain't nothing too dangerous out here. I know, I'll feed you now, you old beggar. Still here, huh? I got my eye on you, so don't try anything funny.
He looks better fed than most people I know.
Understatement of the year right there.
This is just like the one Mom and Dad used to have. It looks like it's missing the needle, but fixing it wouldn't be too tough. Fits perfectly. That should work now. Hi.
What is it?
Do you live here all alone?
No, I got that fatso over there to keep me company, and it suits me fine.
Surviving in the wastes can't be easy.
Take a look around. I got everything I need here, and what I don't have, I go out and find.
So, you're a scavenger?
No, I don't go into places where people live and take their things.
I'm not here to steal anything. I didn't even know you lived here.
Uh-huh.
Where did you find all these things? I haven't seen living trees in the wastes for a long time.
I didn't find it anywhere. It's all mine. I just carted it all out here when I shacked up on this train.
Where did you come from?
That's really none of your business.
Your record player's fixed?
Is that right? And what exactly are you expecting from me in return?
Nothing. Look, I'm not here to get something from you. Why I'm here has nothing to do with you.
Well, that's how the world works. Nobody does something good for nothing.
Some people do. I think you've been out here so long, you've forgotten humans can be good once in a while.
This world eats good people for breakfast. I don't know what you're looking for, but I hope you find it.
What do you know about the Reaper?
The Reaper? I remember hearing some rumors about a guy they were calling the Reaper, way back around the time the plague started. Supposedly there were some burrs that meant he was coming to kill you, but I never ran into him myself. Hadn't thought about that in years, actually.
I'll just be on my way.
Alrighty. Hey, where did you find that?
Over near Sector 67, do you know anything about it? I noticed the logo on the coin was the same as on this train.
It's the logo for South Coast Transit. They own this railroad along with the public transportation system in the city. That there is a subway token. Before the blast, people would use those to ride the train underneath the city.
Really? I had no idea there was an underground train in the city.
Doesn't surprise me. Almost all the stations collapsed after the blast. There's only one left standing.
Where can I find it?
It's not too far from the quarantine zone. Just head up Ross Avenue and keep your eye out for the Wallies. The station is right next to it. Be careful down there. There's a whole network of tunnels. Don't want you to get lost.
Don't worry, I'm not planning on wandering around any tunnel mazes. I wonder if this person died trying to escape the quarantine zone. I think Wally's used to be a pretty famous department store. I vaguely remember Mom and Dad talking about it. The letter L looks like it's pretty close to falling off. that did it. I can just see the wall that's separating the rest of the city from the quarantine zone. It's in surprisingly good condition. It's just hanging there. That's kind of grotesque. It's not every day you get to see an underground river. The damage from the blast really did a number on this station. I can't get to it. The river is blocking my path. There, that should work. Looks like a place you'd put a coin or something. Well, it accepted my token. Great, another collapse. Formerly part of the ceiling, from the looks of things. That leads into a dark alcove. There's a trapdoor at the top of these stairs, but it seems to be locked from the other side. I'm glad this didn't decide to collapse 5 minutes later. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through there. It's tangled up around that pile of debris. It's tangled up too tightly to undo by hand. A nice piece of rope and a freed mannequin. 2 birds with 1 stone. It's wearing the tattered remains of some kind of sports uniform. Looks like this person was crushed by the ceiling. What an awful end. Seems to be full of fishing equipment. An old shop vac. I haven't seen one in ages. It won't have any parts I need. These things are pretty useless. I can't reach inside the display case. Not surprisingly, it's empty. I'm going to need something to open up the side if I want to scavenge for parts. This isn't in as good a condition as I thought. Only useful part in here is this fuse. I might as well hang on to it. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I'll bet these are the controls for the elevator, assuming they still work. Dead, although I might be able to take a look inside and get it working again. I'll bet these are the controls for the elevator, assuming they still work. There, that wasn't so tough. These don't look too complex. It just looks like the main fuse is blown. I sure hope this works. The elevator car looks to be stuck between floors. Not a bad idea. I don't see how I can use that there. I don't see how I can use that there. Appliances. These don't look to be in very good condition. Here goes nothing. A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. There's nothing worth salvaging here. A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. It's way too high for me to reach. It's way too high for me to reach. Ooh, that was more of a climb than I anticipated. What is this place? I wonder if there was once a raven in there. A sketch of the Reaper, lots of little design notes written around the sides. Those look to be mostly medical textbooks. I haven't got time for reading now. Reminds me of an old dress-up doll I used to have when I was a kid. I'm not sure I can see anything useful to do there. I had something like this when I was a kid, a jar of dirt where bugs lived. I guess this is the Reaper's base of operations. Full of lots of unmarked bottles. I wonder what they're for. Anatomy, infectious diseases, biology, quite a collection. These look like security monitors. What are they doing here? Weird. I wonder what these are for. Aha! Just what I thought. They're mechanical.
Ah, Amy Wellard. You found me. I was hoping you would.
How did you...
I realize you probably have many questions. I can give you all the answers you need, but first, allow me to make myself more presentable.
So you are human?
Yes. I'm sorry to disappoint you if you were expecting more.
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. You told me you were a doctor.
Yes, Dr. Edwin Aquino at your service. I was once the leader of the Green Lung vaccine development team, but after learning about their vaccine distribution, or lack thereof, that quickly changed.
Hang on, you knew about the vaccine hoarding? Why didn't you tell anyone?
That would have started violent riots. It's not fair to begin a civil war when it would end without a cure for the illness. I wanted to say something. It hurt not to, but the time wasn't right.
You didn't think the people deserved to know?
They do, and they will. But not while we only have a vaccine and not a cure. With a permanent cure, the aristocracy's hoarding becomes irrelevant, and the focus will be on eradicating the disease.
I guess that makes sense. Why the mechanical ravens? What do they do?
Rather clever little inventions, wouldn't you say? They have video transmitters in their eyes and audio transmitters in their beaks. I use them as scouts, since I can control them remotely.
Did you make them?
No, someone else did, a long time ago. In any case, they've served me quite well, at least the ones that haven't broken. I have very few left, which is going to be a problem at some point.
You've been following me with your birds. Why am I of such interest to you?
You did a lottery job for the Ministry of Energy.
That's right. What of it?
You've got the disease. You're fighting to survive. You're clever and resourceful. Exactly what I need.
Exactly what do you need?
After I left the Ministry of Medicine, I began my attempts at developing a permanent cure for green lung. It was a long process, which took over 10 years, but just last month, I had a breakthrough and was able to make this.
Is that?
Yes, this is the cure for green lung. I've been testing it and it seems to work, but I need to be certain. Aside from that, I don't have the information necessary to mass produce the cure, though I suspect Tiberius keeps it somewhere in the Ministry of Energy.
So what is it you need from me?
We're both fugitives, Amy. I can't put myself at risk by going to the places I need to. If I'm killed or captured, my research will have all been for nothing. You can clearly take care of yourself. I saw how you handled things at Rockwall Prison and Willowdale Plaza.
You helped me out both of those times.
I merely provided some assistance. Your survival was your own doing. Now I realize it's a bit much to ask, but your help would be incredibly valuable, not just to me, but to the future of humanity.
It's not really much to ask. I owe you my life, after all.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. The main thing I need is to find out where Tiberius is keeping my research on mass production. At some point, I'll also need a subject to test the cure on, so I can be absolutely sure it works. Do you have any questions?
Why do you dress like that?
Intimidation, mainly. The work I do is not exactly looked upon favorably by the government, so I had to come up with a way to make sure I was left alone. The costume is just to make sure anyone who might happen to see me is scared off.
So you knew of the rumors about the Reaper and decided to become him yourself?
No, I'm the one who started them. Creating the image of death personified seemed a natural deterrent for anyone who might get too close. Thankfully, the rumors seem to have spread rather quickly over the years.
You aren't kidding. There's a whole cult dedicated to worshipping you.
Yes, I know of them. An extreme example, but I can't deny it helps my work.
About your subject, can I try the cure?
I'd like to, but it's far too risky. You are one of my greatest assets right now. If this proves to have any adverse side effects, I'll be without your help. Once I can mass produce this, I won't have to be so careful.
How can we find the mass production information?
Ideally, I could use my ravens to go in and locate it, but I only have 3 working ones left. And as you're well aware, Tiberius's tower is huge. It would take way too long for only 3 ravens to scan the entire place without being detected.
Could I take a look at one of them?
Of course.
Who did you say made these?
A friend in the Ministry of Knowledge, but that was ages ago. I know very little about their design.
It isn't too complex, actually. I can fix them for you, no problem.
You can?
Sure. See this bit here? That's the servo, the part that controls the wings. It's worn out, so I just need to replace it with a new one.
Are those common? Would we be able to find one or more in the city?
Well, I learned about them from working on toy airplanes that my friend had when we were kids. If we could find some, we'd be in business.
I wonder. Yes, excellent. As I suspected, there's a hobby shop which has remained mostly intact further in the city, and I can see that they have several model airplanes.
Great, I'll go get them and fix your ravens in no time.
Yes, but the store is located in the quarantine zone.
So, I have nothing to worry about. I'm already infected.
You contracting green lung isn't my concern. It's how you're going to get back out. The quarantine zone is designed to keep people from escaping.
If I can find a way in, I'll just have to find a way out, won't I?
Fine. While you're there, see if you can bring someone back with you. Someone who has been quarantined will make an ideal subject to test the cure on.
I'll see what I can do.
Good. Take this then.
What is it?
A 2-way communicator. They used to call them walkie-talkies. We can use them to stay connected while you're in there.
Can you tell me anything about Tiberius?
Quite a bit. I've known him for a very long time. Since before the bombs, in fact. Was there anything specific you wanted to know?
What was Tiberius like before the bombs?
He was the director of the Ministry of Energy. Of course, back then he wasn't calling himself Tiberius. He was just Julian. After society collapsed, he took the initiative to reform and establish the aristocracy. His love for history led him to adopt the alias of Tiberius, as well as insisting the other aristocrats take the name of ancient Roman emperors.
Why does he wear that awful mask?
Anonymity. He felt government leaders are more respected as an institution rather than as people. I can't deny that this approach works extremely well.
Was he always so evil?
I wouldn't call him that. Manipulative, yes. Ruthless, undoubtedly. But not evil. He suffered immense trauma on the day the bombs fell.
Everyone did. Not all of us had the wealth to recover so easily.
Tiberius lost both his wife and unborn child that day. Wealth or not, that hits a man hard. It left him quite mentally unstable, to be honest. His determination to rebuild society was rooted in trying to cope with his loss. In a way, I felt pity for him. Perhaps too much.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing. Never mind.
Strange for him to have a soothsayer for an assistant. How is he qualified?
Superstition is a very powerful force. I'm living proof of that. I never had many dealings with the soothsayer, but I believe he came from somewhere outside the city. Tiberius finds comfort in being able to have a channel to the supposed other side. While I don't share his beliefs, I can't particularly fault him for having them.
That's all for now.
Fair enough.
I'll just get to it then.
Good luck, Amy. By the way, that doorway back there will allow you to get up and down the tower much easier than climbing.
An old radio and some kind of electronic music equipment. They've surely been scavenged for parts.